Hello traders, Rich here, and here's a quick but detailed update on Chainlink. As usual, if you guys like video analysis, let me know in the comments or simply leave a like. So let's get started. As we clearly see, Chainlink has been overall bearish for a while, making lower highs and lower lows. Then price broke above the previous high, so momentum was shifted from bearish to bullish, right? So we are currently overall bullish, and we are expecting the price to be making higher highs and higher lows. So we had this first impulse movement. Now we are in a correction phase, and we are speculating or looking to catch the next impulse movement. However, we can't really know where the correction movement would end. It can end here now, or it can trade lower or even dive deeper before going upward. That's why we don't buy blindly. We always look for rejection zones and for extra confirmation, which would be when the buyers are taking over again. The reason why we are looking for buy setups around this area, it's because we have the round number 20 and we have this brown trend line acting as a non-horizontal support, or if you want to call it, engulfing the overall bullish trend. So as price approaches this area, we'll be looking for buy setups to catch what, as mentioned previously, then the next impulse movement to the upside. That's why let's zoom into lower time frames and look for potential buy setups. So now what we know is we are in a correction phase, and it was confirmed, especially after price broke below this previous swing low, and we can even draw a trend line. So price broke below this trend line. Now we know that the sellers are taking over, especially from a medium-term perspective from H4. But we know that we are overall bullish from a long-term perspective from daily and weekly time frames. That's why we are looking for buy setups, but we know that the sellers are in control. We don't want to buy a bearish market, so that's why we are looking for buy setups around the support area. So for example, we'll be waiting for price to form a third swing around our trend line, and of course, as I always say, it's not a prediction. I'm not predicting that the price would do exactly this movement. This is just what I would like to see, so that the conditions as per my rules would be met, and then I'll be entering a buy. So price doesn't have to follow it. It can like make multiple swings like this, or even price can still break it up, or in this case it would no longer be valid, right? So you've got the idea. That's why I like usually to make videos and not just posting pictures, so that you can get an idea about what to look for. So in this case, if this happens, would be waiting for this swing, which I call our trigger swing, for a momentum candle close above it. That's why you see me highlighting it like this. And then and only then the buyers will take over, and we will be entering a buy on link. And I personally, I'm holding this one, so I'll be adding more longs. And of course, until this happens, or until any signs of bullish reversals, would be overall bearish, and this one can still dive in inside our big support as mentioned from daily, which is this area, before going upward. Before we continue, I want to tell you about MUDREX. MUDREX is one of the world's leading algo trading platforms. It has more than 30K registered users from 90 different countries, with over 2 billion total traded volume on the platform. It's very simple. When you log into your account, you go to Invest, Algo, and you've got over 300 different strategies to choose from. And you can also filter it through these features: top score, popular, and so on. You can click on them on any algo, and you check the expected return, number of investors, and so on. So you click on it and check all the details to decide if it suits your risk appetite, personality, expectations, and so on. You can even build your own algo and monetize it to attract investors. But we'll talk about this in the next video. If you don't have an account yet, make sure to create one using the links in the description below to get $25 sign-up bonus. And let's continue. As we clearly see, GBPUSD has been sitting around this support and resistance area for a while, and since price is approaching it from the upper side, it's now acting as a support area. It was acting as resistance previously, then price broke it upward. It's now acting as support again and again. And if we zoom in, we can clearly see that GBPUSD is currently trading inside this big symmetric triangle. The reason it's big is because it's from daily time frame, where the lower trend line is acting as a non-horizontal support and the upper trend line is acting as a non-horizontal resistance, as we see many rejections from it. So since price is now approaching our lower trend line and this big support area from daily time frame, that's why we are looking for buy setups And of course, unless this trend line and this entire zone is broken downward, then our support would become resistance and we'll be looking for sell setups on the retest. But for now, let's take it step by step. Price approaching a support area, so let's zoom into lower time frames and look for buy setups. If you zoom into M30 time frame, we can see that the bulls were in full control, then the bears took over here, then the bulls took over again and again and again. So we are currently overall bearish as the bears took over. The price is making lower highs and lower lows, right? However, since price is approaching a support area as mentioned from daily time frame, we are currently looking for buy setups. However, this trend line is not valid yet. So as usual, we're waiting for price to form a third swing around it. Then and only then we consider that this last swing is our trigger swing, or what we call our trigger swing, and we'll be entering after a momentum candle close above it. And since the setup is from M30 time frame, then the candle would be from M30 as usual. And when the buy is activated, our stop loss would be just below the previous swing low, and we target a 2 to 1 reward ratio, which would be around our upper brown trend line, which is acting as mentioned from daily as a non-horizontal resistance area. For now, until this happens, until this scenario take place, we would be overall bearish, and GBPUSD can still trade lower, dive inside our support area before going upward, or even break below this entire support for it to become resistance. Then we'll be looking for sell on the retest. That's it for GBPUSD. Best of luck, and I'll see you on the next one.